Invest Nova Scotia supports businesses, helping you thrive at every stage of your journey.
Alicia Kate Pottery Co. operates out of Amherst, Nova Scotia today. But Alicia Whitty has made pottery throughout the Maritimes since she was 14 years old. The talented potter enjoys putting the fun in functional when it comes to mugs, cups and bowls, and other household items.
I was on the university track. I went to school. I got a Bachelor of Science and then another Bachelor of Science in nursing after that. Became a registered nurse, and while I was in nursing school, I kind of got back into pottery as a hobby. Made pottery within a community studio in Charlottetown, where I went to UPEI, and ended up making so much stuff that it was kind of like taking over. And then all of a sudden I was posting a little bit on Instagram and getting some requests from different local shops. Ended up just growing from there. Like, it took over. I went from full-time nursing with this as kind of like a little side hustle to part-time nursing, where this was kind of growing a little more, and then it got to the point that I am now full-time potter who just nurses casually when she wants to kind of keep my license valid, just in case. But I've been doing this full-time for 3 years now, and it's fully sustaining my side of my family's income. So why not do this when it's what I like to do?
One of her latest designs is 3D floral mugs. It all begins with the clay. Pulling out a 10-kilogram sleeve of clay, the plastic is removed and a cutting wire is used to slice it into about 25 pieces. Alicia doesn't measure, so every item is unique and feels handmade. Each piece is pounded into a ball, taking from some and adding to others, basing the size based on feel. Once these are ready, she sits down to throw at her pottery wheel. To begin, she places a towel over her lap, ensures the base of the wheel is clean, and selects a tile to fit in the special bat. Using the foot pedal, she does a test spin. If it has clay built up, the tile is cleaned first using water and her aluminum loop tool as a scraper. Then a ball is thrown on top so it's firmly attached. After adding some water, she starts coning the clay, squeezing from the sides so it moves upwards. Once coned, it's brought back down so it folds in on itself into a usable puck. These steps are repeated until the puck is centered. Then, using her finger, she makes a hole in the center, but makes sure to leave a ½ inch of clay at the base. The hole is widened, and the bottom is compacted so it's less likely to crack. It's smooth and flat. Working on the left side, using a pinching motion, she carries the edge up to the top with nice, even pressure. This is called pulling the walls up, and is done until the desired thinness is reached. She pushes from the inside to round the mug, pushing here, pressing there, to get the right shape. A nice thin rim is made. She presses into the side to add an indent where the iris design will be added. Nearing the end, she trims excess off the bottom and uses cutting wire to slice the mug off the tile before it's placed on a table. Afterwards, the finished pieces are left to dry until the evening. Before bed, they get covered. In the morning, the leather hard pottery is ready to trim. Next, a mug is placed upside down in the center of the trimming wheel and held in place with a Giffen grip. Alicia begins by trimming the side of the foot, giving it a V shape where it springs out from the mug. Then the base is trimmed to make a nice, even, thin base. Then the foot's edge is rounded for a smooth finish. Now it's time to make handles. Water helps to pull handles from this chunk of clay. Once the right portion is pulled, it's pinched off and placed on the table. The mug is scored where the handles will go, and slip is painted on. Slip is clay blended with water, and it acts like glue. The handles are attached at these 2 points and smoothed out, and it's left to rest. Now canvas is spread, and a chunk of clay is rolled out. A knife is used to draw an iris-like shape. The rest is removed, and the beveled edge of a paintbrush presses petals on the iris. The mug is scored and slip is added before the flowers are pressed into these areas. The petals are bent to a desired shape. Now it needs to fully dry before going in the kiln. At this stage, it's called greenware. The bone-dry greenware is cleaned with water to smooth it out before being set in the kiln for a bisque firing. The kiln is closed and programmed to reach 1,945 degrees Fahrenheit in 12 hours, and then it will cool for another 24. Afterwards, the bisqueware is signed with an underglaze pencil, and wax resist is painted on the entire bottom of the piece. While it dries, Alicia gathers her paint. This underglaze paint is poured, and she starts painting the flowers. A thin brush adds light and dark green flower stems, leaves, and grass. A smaller tube of black underglaze adds definition. A clear glaze is mixed with a cement mixer, and tongs are used to dip the mug into the clear glaze. The bottom is cleaned off with a sponge, or it would fuse to the kiln. This must be dry to the touch to be ready for a glaze firing. Then it's placed for its final firing to become vitrified or watertight. Finally, the pieces are sanded, and then these beautiful 3D floral mugs are ready for sale.
On my website, I sell my products across all of Canada and the US. I mean, wherever. I'll ship to Europe if you want me to. But I do get a lot of orders from like BC and Alberta and stuff, which is great. I've sent stuff to Yukon and Northwest Territories before, which is super cool to know someone's using one of my mugs up there.
Invest Nova Scotia supports businesses, providing the tools and expertise you need to succeed.